Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This will be a review on the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Kylo Ren figure from The Rise of Skywalker. Drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram at DKnight333. Enjoy the review, folks. Now, if you've been following the channel, you know that I recently got the 1/6 scale Sideshow Collectibles Darth Maul figure, and I just got the Sideshow Return of the Jedi Darth Vader. And here is Kylo Ren, so the big three for me from the dark side are on display on the shelf, and Kylo Ren is a really cool character. I don't actually like any of the characters from those new Star Wars films apart from Kylo Ren. He was the one thing that kind of kept me coming back to see the trilogy through, and always loved the way he looked. For Adam Driver was a good choice, played him really well, very tall and imposing. I love the look from The Force Awakens. I actually owned the Hot Toys Force Awakens Kylo Ren twice, so needed to get one of them back. And after doing some research and checking out a lot of videos on YouTube, I settled on this version. Just got him looking really creepy at the moment, just the cape wrapped around him. He's got his arms kind of behind his back at the moment. He's just leaning in slightly with the burning cracks coming through on the helmet. It looks like some kind of wraith. It's almost like his cape looks kind of animal-like, like wings. It's a really, really cool look. Now, the light up feature is easy enough to sort out. Put the batteries in, turn it on and off. There's two different settings, just constantly on like I've got it here, or the pulsating option. But it's a bit of a pain to get to. You got to remove the head and pull out the neck piece, and there's a bit of work to get it on, but it's worth doing, definitely, for photography and your pose sessions. It's a shame you can't have it like this permanently on, but it is a very cool effect, and this is just really intense looking and evil. So now I've got it on the pulsating setting. It kind of alternates between the top and the bottom of the helmet. It's a very nice effect. It's cool that they would go to that trouble. Just a shame you can't kind of use a USB and have it permanently on, but it is very nice. It's a very cool effect. Got him on the rotating base and holding onto his lightsaber, which I have repainted because I just wasn't happy with the light pink kind of tone that it was. Don't really care about it lighting up. I just want it to kind of match up with my Sideshow Collectibles figures, because their lightsabers are just a more convincing red effect. So I've got him in a cool pose here, using the Force and coming at you with the lightsaber. The third Kylo Ren, as everyone has already said, it's baffling why they haven't put a split at the ankle for better articulation. He really needs it, but you're still able to pull off some pretty cool action poses with him. And I've still got the pulsating lights switched on the helmet. Really good proportions on the piece, great height. Adam Driver is about 6'2", so Kylo Ren's got to be a big figure. Really nice job on the cape as well. It's a beautiful texture. Hangs really nicely, and there's a wire in the hood. It's all been put together really, really well. Alright, now we'll take a nice close-up look at the head sculpt that the figure comes with Adam Driver's likeness captured so well here. It really is one of the top Hot Toys head sculpts I've seen in person. I've seen quite a few, and there's very rare. I mean, you get a lot of them where it's a bit 85% their likeness and are very debatable online, and people talking about that stuff a lot. But I think with this head sculpt here, and the one that came before it from Last Jedi, and I think it was pretty undeniable. Hot Toys nailed it with Adam Driver's likeness, and he must be very happy with his Hot Toys figures. That must be very cool. But I think I preferred the hair sculpt on the previous version from The Last Jedi. A little bit more kind of hair just kind of sticking out on the sides, a little bit more kind of three-dimensional. This is just one kind of clump of sculpted hair with no real strands coming out anywhere away from the main bulk of the sculpt. But it's very defined and very detailed, and I can't really say for sure that I prefer this face better than the last one, because I've never seen the Last Jedi version in person, but I think I prefer this expression. He's just a little bit more, well, he always looks focused, but someone said in another review that I watched that he looked wiser, which would make sense because, you know, some time passed, and it's the last movie in that trilogy. But we'll get a closer look in a minute. But I'm very impressed with it. I think the hair is pretty top notch, but the likeness, the sculpt and the paintwork, the eyes, that scar on the side of his face, the intense but subtle but intense expression is very, very well done. Excellent stuff. We're getting really close now. Take a look. Check out the depth of the scar on the side of the face there, and just all the little details on the skin. Incredible work. Very happy with this. Going to be tough. I mean, because he will look great, you know, with this head sculpt on the body, holding that helmet in his hands, looking down at it or looking into the distance. That will look great, but I just really want full Kylo Ren helmet on with Vader and Darth Maul. But we'll see. I'll change it around from time to time. But it's one of those ones where the head sculpt that comes with it is so good, it's tough to decide. But it's a nice problem to have, you know. Beautiful work here. Let it come around one more time. Just appreciate the incredible work on this head sculpt. And here is the head sculpt on the body. He is appreciating his newly repieced helmet. Looking quite intense. Now, I've already noticed, because this was second-hand on eBay, excellent condition, amazing seller, very happy, but I did notice a tiny bit of paint or dye, sorry, from the collar area. Just, you don't see it, it's right at the very bottom of the neck, so you'd never see it anyway. But that is something to bear in mind if you were leaving him kind of leaning forward like this, like tilting the head forward, pressing up against the collar. You're more than likely going to get some staining on there. Not much you can do about that. This looks awesome, just holding on to his helmet. It's a very, very cool piece, man. I'll give you the final thoughts and the score out of 10 at the end, but it's going to be high. Just get it from a lower angle. It's a pretty cool pose here. Just holding onto the helmet. Very neat, as in, you know, neat and tidy, no mess. Very good outfit here. Nothing too restrictive for poseability. But it's simple, and I like it. Here is the Hot Toys Kylo Rise of Skywalker figure next to the Sideshow Collectibles Return of the Jedi Lord Vader, who I reviewed very recently on the channel. That was the video before this one, so if you haven't watched it yet, check out the review for this amazing piece. But David Prowse in the Vader suit in the movie was 6'6", with a little bit extra, I would imagine, thanks to that helmet and the boots. Adam Driver 6'2", so I think these two scale up pretty well together. It's a shame I didn't think to mention this in the review for this guy, but the one complaint I had with the Sideshow Vader, it wasn't really even a complaint, it was just a preference really, but what stopped him getting like a 10 out of 10 or something was the kind of, do you call it a tunic? The kind of inner robe that's under the belt there. It's pretty much the same material they used for the cape, and I just wish it was a bit thicker so it hung a bit more naturally, but as someone said, all I need to do is remove it and just iron it carefully, maybe put some material over the top of it when I'm ironing it, and it will fall as it's meant to. But when I actually was doing my research, I found this image, and it says at the bottom, props, let's see, I don't know, it could just be someone made this, but that was sort of the impression I had, was that it was a suit from the movie. And if it is, then the actual tunic here doesn't seem to have any pleats, and it is quite a thin material, and it just kind of hangs there, same as the Sideshow figure. Now I don't know, could be wrong. I just looked for Google images of the Return of the Jedi Vader suit, and that was one of the ones that came up that gave you a proper clear look. But it just says yourprops.com, so I don't know if it's the real deal or a sort of reproduction or something. But it made me feel a lot better about that. But I've been absolutely loving this guy since he turned up. Hell of a piece. Really enjoyed doing the review, and I realise now that I'm spending too long talking about him when we're supposed to be talking about Kylo Ren. But just look at that right there. That is Vader, and the material they used for the cape and now I look at that picture, the tunic as well. But you can see that material. If this is, you know, a screen used suit, and if I'm wrong, people are laughing at me right now thinking, you idiot, it's just a fan-made cosplay costume or something. I don't know, I just, like I said, I typed it in, it said props. It looks, you know, like it's meant to fit someone David Prowse size. But anyway, the material for the cape there looks very similar to what we have with the sideshow figure, even to the exact sort of tone as well. So anyway, I love this piece, absolutely love it. Check out the review for him if you haven't seen it already. If you've seen it already, watch it again. Very simple, just put the lightsaber hilt on the belt, helmet's back on, and just wanted to look at the proportions as he comes around. Seems very good to me. Stands really well on his own, and the one-piece sculpted boots certainly help with that. Not so much with more dynamic stuff, but for standing up straight they certainly keep him upright. He doesn't tend to tip over very much. I'm not the biggest fan of his base. I know it's a very typical Star Wars Hot Toys base, but his boots are quite slippery. There's no kind of grip or tread sculpted into them. It's just a smooth surface under his boots, and it's a smooth surface on the base, so he gets a little bit slippy even with the crotch grabber. Very nice detail on the gloves, they're really well done. But the lightsaber hilt looks really good hanging there. There's that damn zip again. Alright, now here he is with his saber. I'll put his cloak back on, but I just wanted to show him without one more time. He does look very much like a knight here. I guess the whole Knights of Ren thing makes sense, but I don't know too much about the Knights of Ren. I think it sounds really cool. There's more than one of them, and they maybe all have slightly different armors. I'm not sure, but it's interesting and it sounds cool. The Knights of Ren. Alright folks, I'm going to give you a score out of 10 and my final thoughts. I'd give this guy a 9 out of 10. He's a really great figure. I definitely recommend him. If you're only going to get one Kylo Ren, I would recommend this one. I love the look from The Force Awakens, but he's a little bit puffy with all those layers. It's a bit difficult sometimes to get him to look a bit more slimmed down like he looked in the film. But it's a great figure. They all are. All the Kylo Rens. But this one is the one I've settled on, and I'm very happy. I just repainted the saber blades to be a more vibrant red, and that's the only thing I've done. So he wouldn't get a 10 obviously because of the lack of articulation in the ankles. And what else? I mean, that's really the only pain in the butt, so you can't get a perfect score, so I'll give him a 9, which is still excellent. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments folks. I hope you've enjoyed the review. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to drop a like on the video, it helps out the channel. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at dknight333. I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.